What's up, my peeps and my geeks? How y'all doing today? I am Ben, the Every Person Geek, coming at you guys talking about the book of the book of Boba Fett, and we're gonna get into it right now. Alright, so we got the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett coming up this week, and I'm gonna be honest, when Boba Fett first started off, the Book of Boba Fett, I was not that impressed with it. Granted, when The Mandalorian first came out until Grogu showed up, which I think was around the second episode, wasn't too impressed with that either, but then it started picking up toward the end of the season. Difference with the Book of Boba Fett, though, is I think they made Boba Fett such a badass in The Mandalorian that when they started doing the Book of Boba Fett, they kind of nerfed him a little bit. You know what I mean? And it just seemed like it was a little bit more. I don't know. It just seemed like it wasn't. It was slow. You know what I mean? It was still good. Don't get me wrong. It was interesting, but it wasn't something where it was really that attention grabbing. There wasn't that much action in it, and the few action scenes that they did have, again, it just seemed like Boba Fett was nerfed. You know. Then you had episode 5 and now episode 6, where, I mean, it's basically turned into, Mandalorian season 3. You know what I mean? Mando really came in and saved the Book of Boba Fett, sort of like how he's coming in to save actual Boba Fett from the Pikes and stuff like that. I don't know. I just thought that this series was going to go a little bit better than it did, especially off of the success of The Mandalorian. I thought they would have been able to do a little bit better with the action scenes, the storyline, because basically you just got Boba Fett trying to be the new crime lord, but using respect instead of, fear. And he didn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore because, he didn't want to work for other people. So I kind of understand that situation. They were trying to give him redeeming qualities and stuff. But I think they should have made it a little bit more a little bit more action packed. Now, with episodes 5 and 6, I mean, you basically had like a Mandalorian thing, because in 5 we get to see him create his new starship. We get to see him with the dark saber, and how I don't know if you guys ever saw Rebels, but when Ren had the dark saber and she was getting trained by Kanan, when she was first starting to use it, she said it was like really heavy and stuff like that. That's because her and the dark saber weren't in sync with each other. But then as she like learned how to use it, the saber got lighter. And I like how in the book of Boba Fett, when they were doing the Mandalorian with the dark saber, you see, the struggle that he has with the dark saber, and even when he was training, with the Mandalorian blacksmith, she even said to him, you're not in tune with the dark saber. You're fighting it. You're not letting it lead you and stuff like that. So we get to see that, and whether or not Mando winds up learning how to control the dark saber, we don't know. I mean, it could actually go to Grogu, but Grogu would have to kill Mando, which I don't think he would actually do. So that leads me into episode 6, which I think was actually really cool. I mean, we had the Marshal in it. We had Ahsoka in it. We had Grogu. We had Luke. I mean, that season 6 episode was phenomenal. We get to see Grogu starting to learn how to use the Force. We got Mando going to visit him, talking to Ahsoka, and finding out that Ahsoka knows, that Luke is Anakin's son, and even has a little part in there where she's like saying, I knew his father. And I'm just looking forward to the Ahsoka series now, because I'm really hoping that they do that whole scene where you have Luke explain to Ahsoka that, in the end, Anakin went back to the light, and turned his back on the dark side and stuff like that. I just want to see that emotional exchange, especially since we're getting more scenes with Luke. So hopefully we'll be able to see that in the Ahsoka series, which I'm really hoping that they do, especially since with the Book of Boba Fett, they kind of went prior to him meeting the Mandalorian, having him meet the Mandalorian, and then continuing on from there. So with Asaka, I'm hoping that they do kind of the same thing where, you're seeing what she's doing during all this stuff that's going on with the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. And we see her, meet up in her series, meet up with the Mandalorians, just do a quick, like, skip through with that. And then from there, go to Luke's island, and not island, but planet that Luke is on, and see that discussion between Luke and Ahsoka and stuff like that, where he's telling her that Darth Vader turned back into Anakin and stuff like that. I think that would be so cool, and it's such an emotional thing, especially for us Star Wars fans. Now, last episode is coming up this week, so who knows what's going to happen now. They blew up the cantina, which I thought was it was kind of cool how they did that. You got what's that dude's name? Cade Bane, I think it is. Cad Bane in it now. He shot the marshal. Now, I don't think the marshal's dead, because if you actually look back at the shot, it looked like it hit him in his shoulder. You know what I mean? So, again, in a lot of movies and stuff like that, a shoulder wound is apparently means death, but, maybe it hits an artery or something. I don't know. I don't know too much about physiology. But hopefully the marshal's not dead, and the bartender kind of gave that look like, oh, we're gonna fuck them up. So I think it's going to be a great season, first season finale. Now, whether or not you will see Boba Fett and maybe Mandalorian season 3 or in Ahsoka, that's still left to be seen. But I just think it's funny how, for the first 4 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, it was kind of dragging out and taking its time. And I'm going to be honest with you, I even started dozing off on season 4, episode 4, So with this coming in to now the season finale, and we got Mando in it, we might have the Marshal and the town involved. We got Grogu posed with a choice between the Mandalorian Beskar chainmail or Yoda's lightsaber, which I think was so cool that they brought in Yoda's lightsaber. But Grogu has to make that decision on whether or not he wants to go back to Mando or continue his training with the Force, which means that he may never see Mando again, ever. So I'm thinking that when they're going to be fighting in this last episode with the Pikes, Mando's going to get into a situation where he's about to die or get killed or something like that, and here comes in Grogu and uses the Force to whoever has the gun pointed at Mando, maybe even Cad or something like that, and Force pushes him away, and Mando's able to kill him, and you got Grogu with Mando again and stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking might happen. So I'm looking forward to the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And again, it was just basically Mandalorian came in and saved the day for his series. I think a lot of people, again, would have preferred a more badass Boba Fett like he was in The Mandalorian. And again, I think they just really nerfed him for his own series, which I don't understand why they would have done that. But again, all in all, what Filoni and Favreau are doing with these series is phenomenal. I mean, they really should have done the sequel trilogy. I think they should have did it, because Rebels was awesome, Mandalorian's awesome, Book of Boba Fett turned into awesome. I'm dying to see how Ahsoka is, and also Kenobi. So with those series, and I realized I was thinking, that they were going to um, do like cross episodes with Kenobi, but Kenobi died before Mandalorian and the Osaka series even started, so that's not possible. But it would have been cool. They might be able to do something with Kenobi as far as maybe he does meet up with Osaka, and we know that Darth Maul, because of Rebels, you know, Darth Maul met up with Kenobi on Tatooine. So I'm really interested in seeing what the new series are going to wind up offering to the Star Wars canon, and I'm really interested in seeing what is going to happen with the Mandalorian season 3. What's going to happen on the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett? How they're going to do Osaka and stuff like that. I'm just excited for all this stuff, and I cannot wait to get into it with you guys and start talking about this. Guys, if you have your own theories on how this is going to play out and how, the Book of Boba Fett's going to end, put it down in the comments below. Do you think Grogu is going to come back and be with Mando, or is he going to continue his training with Luke? Do you think Osaka might show up again in the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett? Do you, or maybe even have a post-credit scene to lead into the Osaka series? Who knows? We might be able to get something like that. Let me know. Do you guys think the Marshal's dead? Do you think he's going to show up with the townspeople to help Mando and Boba Fett fight the Pikes? Put it all down in the comments. I love to discuss this stuff with you guys, and get to see what you guys are thinking along with what I'm thinking and stuff like that. If you are enjoying this video, please hit that like button. If you are enjoying my content, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell. And my guys, gals, geeks, and peeps, as always, may the odds ever be in your favor. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to get in with you guys next time.